What's going on, everybody? Welcome. This will probably be my most vulnerable video I will ever make. This will also be the only time I will speak about this or make a video about it. I'm speaking about it because as I'm going through this process, I want to share information to help those who are experiencing this as well. I am going through a divorce, and I'm not gonna go details. I'm not gonna go through all details about it. I'm just going to explain to you how I feel as rational as I possibly can at the moment, and hoping that the information that I give will help someone who's going through this, who has been with this and still dealing with the results of an outcome of it. I am going through a divorce. Been going through it for a while. No particular major reason. What do you call it? Irreconcilable differences. That's basically is nothing crazy or anything like that. But the effects of this process of a divorce has left me with some very important information that I dealt with, still dealing with, and most likely will deal with in the future. There's a lot of things that go into the divorcing process that I never knew. I never knew, and it was never really depicted. Like you said, you see things like this portrayed in movies, stuff like that, and most of the times you see is always some big conflict, some huge issues, some huge problem, and you never really see the process that goes the whole legal process of this uh, event. And one of the things that if I can if I can describe divorce in one word, if I can give one word to describe it, for me, I would use the word conflicting. I would say conflicting. I use that term because there are so many emotions and so many thoughts that go through your mind as you're going through this process, as it relates to the process itself, as it relates to the person with whom you were married and now getting through a divorce, the process of how you view yourself, how you view others outside of your marriage and inside the marriage, um, how you how others view you inside the marriage and outside the marriage, whether it be kids, if there's kids in the process, or if there's, you know, it could be assets and property, things of that nature. You really don't understand the business side of marriage until you go through a divorce. That's one thing I had to realize. I never realized how much paperwork goes into it, how much legal things go into it. Like regardless of the reasons for the divorce. Divorce can be a mutual, or what they call an amicable split. It can be a ferocious, violent split. It can be uh, based on prenuptial agreement. But just you never really understand the business side of marriage until you get a divorce. All of a sudden, the people that you got to deal with, the people that you got to meet up with, you never saw when you got married, which I find that strange. I've never been through so many legal documents when I got married. But you see a whole bunch of legal documents come out when it's time to divorce. That's one. That's very interesting right there. That's one. So here's the thing. If you are married, first of all, I hope you are successful. If you are married, and if by chance a divorce is imminent, a divorce is happening, it is coming, and there's no way to reconcile, it's coming. Understand the business side of marriage. You have the emotional side, the love side, the compassion side. That part is important. However, when you get down to the nitty gritty of marriage, it is a business just as much as it is a companionship. Okay? A marriage is a merger. Like you have two companies merging to perform one. A marriage is a merger. A contract is the same as a marriage license. It's the same thing. I didn't really understand that until now. No one had, no one who I know who has been married and divorced has ever spoken about this part of it. But I'm learning about this, and I'm able to show this. I'm able to talk about this, comprehensively because I was able to rationalize my emotions to the best of my abilities. Okay, and I was able to formulate thoughts to understand the process as I go through it. All right, that's one part. The business side of marriage and the business side of divorce. That is important. Never lose sight of that. Two, when going through a divorce, you tend to recap, you tend to backtrack, you tend to replay events, and that's when you realize how good your memory is. When they say hindsight is 2020, you start to replay events and you start to realize, okay, where was the moment that things went awry that you didn't see in the beginning, or you saw it and ignored it? That happens. Sometimes things happen during the marriage that turns it from a marriage to not so good, and you wonder, okay, when did that moment happen? And you start replaying all as many things as you can replay, good and bad, good and bad, good and bad, and you just start replaying. Okay, when did it happen? What was the conversation that transpired that led this on? What was the fight or the argument you may have had? What was the disagreement you may have had? What was the moment that you went to bed and not express how you felt? These things. When were those moments? And you start to replay and say, okay, now that I think about it, this could have been the moment. This could have been the moment. And the conflicting part is when you replay those moments, you have simultaneously anger, or you are frustrated, and you also have happiness. You have happiness and anger at the same time. It's weird. It's paradoxical, but to have an emotion of happiness and sadness at the same time, it tells you, or it reveals to you, how complex a marriage is, how nuanced it is, how there's never black and white. It's never black and white. It's 5% black, 10% white and 85% gray. That's how I would say it. 5% black, 10% white, 85% gray. And most of the times, you're in that gray area, but it feels and seems like it's black and white. But you're always in that gray area. It's always a gray area. The gray area is where the happiness and the sadness comes into play. And you never really understand where you fit in that area of black, white, and gray. You never really understand where you fit until you go through this process and you play back events. A party you two may have gone to, like I said, a disagreement you two may have had, a Thanksgiving, a Christmas, a birthday, an anniversary, something. There's always something. Oh, let me rephrase that. There's always events. It's never one event. There's always events that have transpired that led up to the point you are and in divorce. Okay, it's never one moment here and then divorce. No, it's little small events that pile up that never get addressed. And by the time it's addressed, it's a big blow up. And when you have more than one event of blow ups, then it comes to a point where there's no saving. Okay, so understand the complexities of certain events. And then you have the different stages of emotions. You have grief, because I'll be honest with you, going through this divorce, it feels like a death in the family. Even though no one has died, even though no one has died, the marriage died. So you feel like a loved one, a close relative has died. That relative being marriage. That's what it feels like. And I have learned that the same feelings that I have when someone close to me has passed away, it's the same feelings I have almost to the T of this divorce process. Same thing. So understand what these things you're feeling. It's okay to say I'm mourning, because you could say, you're mourning. MOURNING. Okay, mourning, not MORNING. MOURNING. Mourning. Grief. Sadness. Depression. And then with all that, you have happiness, bliss, joy, comfort, relaxation, peace. All of these things are together. You have moments where you flash back on the person and you're happy, but then moments after that, you'll be stricken with some kind of anger for whatever reason. But it's always both of them. It's never just, well, I'll play this. Some days are better than others. Some days you are feeling good, you're feeling positive, you're feeling at peace, you're feeling okay. Then other moments, it's the longest 24 hours. Nothing makes a day feel longer than the sadness of losing someone. When the day is positive, when the day is good, when the day is uplifting, it goes by fast. It seems that way. But when you're having a rough day, when you're having a rough time, a rough patch, rough memories, like bad memories come through your mind, that 25 hours, like you want nothing more than for that 25 hours to end. Holidays don't feel the same. Like Christmas don't feel the same. Anniversaries don't feel the same. Birthdays don't feel the same. Going out to dinner don't feel the same. Nothing feels the same. Everything changes. Your entire world and way of life changes because your comfort level, you were comfortable in your marriage, you found peace and comfort in your marriage, and now divorce comes, and you know that the change is imminent. You know that change is coming, and you can't escape it. You can't escape the change. And the thoughts of moving on from this person, the thoughts of knowing that you don't even want to say their name. Like the person that you married had a name. They didn't have a name. But you're so used to calling them babe and honey and sweetie and, I love you and precious, all the pet names you have for that person. It gets harder to say, okay, I got to go from baby or precious or sweetie to their name. It doesn't sound like saying their actual name doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel right to say their name. Like my mind still says baby. But now I have to get used to calling you by your actual name because we no longer have that relationship with each other anymore. That comfort level is gone. I see you as my wife. I see you as my husband. I address you as my wife or as my husband. When someone speaks to me about you, I don't say your name. I say the name that I'm comfortable. I say yes, my wife or yes, my husband. When I'm speaking to you about someone else, to someone else. But now the thoughts of I have to unlearn, I have to reboot. It's like when you have a phone or you have a computer and you have to delete the files and you have to delete the software, what do you call overhaul. That's what happens with your brain and with your body. Not just your brain, your body, because your body also reacts to that person a certain way when you are married, when you are happy with that person. But when it comes to divorce, and you know that the change is imminent, that you no longer have that comfort level anymore, your body goes through a physical change. Your brain goes through a physical change. Your heart beats different. Your muscles move different. Your breathing changes. I'm not trying to be spooked out. But when you are comfortable in something, your body adjusts to that comfort level. The same how if you're in an elevator and the elevator goes down, your body feels that sudden jerk, and then all of a sudden it gets used to it. Same thing in marriage. When you get in a marriage, actually, like before when you get in a marriage, your body first feels that jerk because now you're married. You say, okay, now I'm married. I'm no longer single. I'm married. Your body feels that jerk, and all of a sudden, your body gets used to the ride or the journey of marriage. Now, once you go from married to divorce, your body is going through that jerky motion again because now it has to readjust to something else. Same thing when it comes to marriage and divorce. Your brain function changes, your body functions change, your emotions change, your thoughts change. You change chemically, the chemical responses that you had before change because certain chemicals or certain amount of chemicals that you used to produce for certain events are now being adjusted. It's being adjusted and readjusted. So, and then now you have to unlearn certain things. You have to unlearn certain things, and you have to unlearn, learn, and relearn. You have to unlearn certain things, learn new things now, and then relearn things that you may have given up before. In that, you don't. That's one thing that you don't see a lot about people talk about when it comes to divorce. Rarely do you hear about the adjustments. The living situation is another thing. If one person decides to leave out of the house, what do they do now? Like, how do they go on with their life, knowing that they no longer have the comfort level of being with that person? So, it's starting to rain. So that changes. So now you have, hold on, get my coat. So now you got to deal with, you know, living situations, money, you know, like I said, finances is a big part of this, and you can't pretend like it's not. You can't pretend like all of a sudden, money don't matter. Play this. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says about money and all that stuff. I don't care. Let me be very, very clear about this. No matter what anybody tells you, oops, shoot. Yes, happiness does matter. You know, peace of mind does matter. Absolutely. But let me be very, very honest with you. Okay? Money plays a major role. I'm sorry for anybody who disagrees, but if you don't think money matters when it comes to a marriage, try getting divorced, or play this. Try gathering the money for divorce, because it costs money to get divorced. It costs money to get married. It costs money to get divorced. So if someone tells you money does not matter, I'm sorry, but that's not true. Money is very important, because I promise you, a lot of money will play this. There's more money spent on getting a divorce than it is to get married. So if more money is spent on getting divorced than it does to get married, then please don't ever forget that money is important during the marriage. And when you're going through the process of getting the divorce, and then you as an individual have to readjust your life, your lifestyle. You have to readjust it now. Trust me when I tell you, money comes into play. So if you do get divorced, like I said, I hope you don't. I hope whoever hears this, if you're married, I hope your marriage is prosperous. In the event you are getting a divorce, make sure your finances straight. Okay? Because if they are not, if you are getting a divorce and your finances are not straight, you will spend a long time trying to adjust. It's easier to adjust to life after divorce if you have your finances together. Say that right now. All right? Now, on a more personal level, not personal to me, but I mean personal level in terms of like you as an individual. The people around you, okay? Watch the people around you, whether it be family members, friends, co-workers, whatever. Watch the people around you. You will see how many people actually care about the well-being of the couple and the marriage. You will see. You will find out very, very quickly, and it is a bitter pill to swallow. It is a very tough thing to grasp. But you will find out who actually cares about you as an individual and you as a couple. Okay? And watch the advice that is given to you. Watch how many people and watch how many people are talking, and watch and look at and listen to the advice that is given. You will find out very soon who actually cares. Okay? Because just because someone is around you and your spouse does not mean that they care about you as a person or you as a couple. Okay? Uh, I won't say a lot of times. Sometimes people only care. People will. Everyone has their own interest. Okay, let's be honest about that. Let's be honest about that. Everyone has their own interest. There's nothing wrong with having your own interest. The problem comes when you have your own interest, but your interest is not conducive to you in your marriage. So when you are going through the process of divorce, when you are going through that process and you're getting divorced, the process will show allegiances. That's a good way to put it. The divorcing process will show who actually cares. Okay, and it's a tough thing to grasp, but you will see if they really care about you, and by you I mean the couple. Okay, and that also can be very frustrating. And that can be. It is very frustrating to come to the realization that some people never cared about your marriage. Okay, it's very tough to deal with. It's very tough to come to grips with that. That some people do not care about unity. Okay, let's see what else. And that goes for family, that goes for friends, co-workers, all that. And when people are getting divorced, you also have what is what's called the narrative. The narrative is what is being told about your marriage and how things transpired. Now, no one actually knows what really went on except for the people who are married. Okay? No one knows the full story except for those who were married, who are the married couple. However, people will go with whatever narrative is talked about. Now, in my marriage, we're not the kind of people that do the whole putting things on social media. Stay off social media. If you're going through a divorce, stay off social media, because all you're gonna get is a bunch of people, disgruntled men and women, who put their 2 cents in without knowing the whole story and have no compassion for the two individuals that are getting divorced, because it's painful for both parties. Even though as the individual you think that you're going through more pain than the other person, no. Both parties are going through pain because everything changes. So have some compassion. First of all, get off social media. Don't put your business on social media. Stay off of it. Stay off of it. All right? Don't go don't put no subliminal shots on Twitter. None of that crap. Stay off of social media. At least with that. At least about that. You can post them about other stuff, fine. But when it comes to your marriage and what you're going through in your process of divorce, stay off social media. Okay? Because all you're gonna do is invite people who never cared about you or your marriage in the first place, and that's when the BS happens. No, don't do that. Stay on social media, okay? That way, you and your soon-to-be ex-spouse can keep the narrative as the truth, because no one knows the 100% truth except for you and the person with whom you're divorced. Okay, so be mindful of that. Let's see what else. Also, for you and the person that you're divorcing, or the person divorcing you, whatever, have some compassion, have some sympathy for that person, because unless it's some abusive, like violent, deadly type of thing, 9 times out of 10, most divorces is not like a I hate you type of thing. It's a, well, this marriage has reached its expiration date. That's what it's like. It's like, okay, this has gotten past the expiration date and we just can't do it anymore. That's it. That's most divorces happen like that. Okay? It may be about money, but most divorces are in the umbrella of it's just time to move on. You don't want it to be like that, but that's how it happens most of the time. It's just it reached its maturation date and that's it. Okay? And when that happens, you as a man have some compassion and sympathy for your soon-to-be ex-wife, and you as a woman have some passion and sympathy, some compassion and sympathy for your soon-to-be ex-husband, because both of you share life together. Both of you have memories together. Both of you have had made children together. If you have children, if you don't, okay. But both of you have shared time and space and energy and love and emotions and secrets with each other. Cause that's how it feels. Even though my wife and I getting divorced, that's my friend, because we were friends before we got married. Before we got married, we were married for a very long time, almost 10 years we were married. But we were friends before that. So I'm not a stranger to her, and she's not a stranger to me. So there's history between us that I'm never going to forsake. Okay? It's just that it reaches point. And that's it. But you will never see me or hear me disrespecting her, or you definitely won't I won't allow someone to disrespect her to me, and she won't allow someone to disrespect me. And you'll never see her disrespecting me. So that's just not how we do. We're not that type. We never been that type. So that's just some things I've learned, and hopefully this video helps someone go through this. Unfortunately, because it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate because when you get married with the intent of forever, till death do a part. We all have the intentions of that, but the reality is, it's a lot more gray than it is black and white. Okay, it's a lot more gray than it is black and white. That's the reality of it, and there's never. It's rarely just cut and dry. It's always nuances. There's always gray areas. There's always small things. This is the reality of it. But hopefully, if anyone's going through this unfortunate event, hopefully this video can help you go through the transition. Because as I'm going through the transition and I'm able to properly formulate words to express my thoughts. Now, I'm not going to tell everything, because I'm not going to just say everything that's not for everybody. But what I can share is my feelings, my thoughts, my emotions, and as I experience it and I express it, maybe someone watching this can see this and say, okay, he went through it, or maybe someone else go through it, she went through it, whatever. And I'm not the only one. I'm not alone in this. Other people have gone through it. I'm not the only one that's gone through this. I'm not alone. So someone else has experienced this. Maybe if I take some advice from them and see certain patterns in my life, maybe it can help me transition. Okay, so that's all. Hope you all enjoy this video. Hope you enjoy these lessons. I'll catch you all later. Peace.